Welcome to the Daily Bag Podcast. And my name is Thomie Isreal. My mother didn't give me that name. I gave myself that name with the hope that I can live by it, stand by it. And when it's all said and done, I lived up to it. So let's get to it. This is episode 3. Episode 3 with the goal to reach episode 300 by the end of the year. And I know the only way for me to do that, the only way for me to reach 300 by the end of this year is to be consistent. I have to be consistent. That's a goal. That's an exercise. That's a function that I put on myself this year, because I know in my heart that the lack of consistency has been the major cause of death to most of my great ideas. It's not being consistent, man. I remember this director that I was working with, and he's not more so a director. He was my he's a director, but he was my light man, my cameraman, my sound man for my other podcast, the Shoshi Corner podcast that we had on YouTube, and everything was going good. We had episode 1 and then we went to do episode 2, and I remember calling him, get ready for, not episode 1, season 2. And I remember calling him for season 2, and he told me, he said, I'm not going to be able to do it with you. I said, why? I've been paying you what you want, more money? He said, nah, it's not about the money. He said, you're not consistent enough. And I knew he was telling the truth, man. You know, somebody tell you something and you know it's the truth. It's that hard, constructive criticism, but you know it's the truth, and you can't even say nothing about it. When they hit you right on the head, it's like getting caught in a cookie jar, and you right there, you can't say nothing about it. It brought me to really realize I already knew I haven't been consistent with some of the things I do. Now, some things I do, I develop this function where everything start to ride right into place. And no matter, sometimes you have things that obstacles get in your way, but you yet and still get over the obstacles, and you still find yourself to develop that one thing. But most of the things, see, it's a difference between the good and the great. See, it's a big difference. The great are consistent at everything they do. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the greats, they fold ideas because it's no longer working. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you on to something and then you lack off. I'm not talking about when something is time to close and you keep, and it's dead, and you keep digging and digging and digging and it's dead and you still trying to bring it to life. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you got something going and then you slack off and you lose it, right? That's me. Let's get back to me, because you got to remember, this podcast is really an inspiration for me. Now, I would love to have 1 million downloads and inspiring people all over the world. I would love that. I would love nothing else than to have that. However, if only I am my only listener, just me to record, then listen back the next day and be inspired, it worked. It worked. Because remember, this podcast is about saving my life. Now, I want to save other lives, but this podcast is about saving my life from the position that I am right now, trying to get back to where I was, right? I'm on a mission to get back in my bag. That's why I call it the daily bag. I got to get back in my bag to get back to the point where I'm soaring past where I was at before, right? Okay, right now, I'm climbing out of my bottom. I'm climbing out of my bottom. But I got a long journey just so that I can soar past the fact where I was making 6 figures. I never was making millions of dollars a year, no. But I was at the point where I was soaring, right? 6 figures a year. And it's all gone. It's all gone, right? So now I got to get to the point where I'm soaring past 6 figures. Forget 6 figures. I want to soar when I'm kissing 7 figures and 8 figures and just doing my numbers. In order to that, I got to get back in my bag, man. And it starts with consistency. I don't care what you in. I don't care if it's fitness. I don't care if it's self-development. I don't care if it's any business that you in. If you don't have consistency, you have nothing. It's no way you can grow muscle, you can grow money, you can grow health if you're not consistent. So I have to find my way to formulate a pattern where I'm consistent on consistency, right? I got to get in that. I got to make sure, and it starts with this. It starts with my podcast, my daily bag. I got to be in my bag every day. Now, don't get me wrong, I might get off the train. That's why I put it at 300. Even though we got 365 days in a year, I put it at 300 to give me, hey, might get sick one day. Hey, I might be traveling overseas one day. Hey, I might be doing something with the family one day. So I gave myself that room, but I ain't giving myself no under that. You know, in sports, they have the over and under. I'm not going under that. I might go over 300, but I ain't going under that. Nah, not this year, bro. This is my setup year. 2019 is my setup year for 2020, man. I'm not trying to make this my best year financially. If it do, then thank the powers that be for that. Thank the universe for that. But I tell you this, man, I ain't gonna let it be the year that I had last year. It's no way, man. And you better not let it be the year you had last year. You better make it your better year. This is my setup year. I'm not having it this year, man. I'm in my bag, man. I gotta get back in my bag. Every day I gotta be 1% better. 1% better. Now, don't see, sometimes what happens with us, we fall off the wagon or we get off the train. Our train was on the way to success. And we get off the train, and then what happens is, oh man, we missed it. Just like with the diet. Oh man, I fell off. Oh, forget it. I'm just going to eat, man. I'm just going to be fat. Nah, man, we can't do that. Oh, I was saving and I wound up spending some of the money. Oh, I might as well just blow the rest of the money. Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. We on that train to success and we get off. You know what? There's another train coming, bro. There's another train coming, man. Just get right back on that train because you're going to get to your destination. But don't let all the trains pass, man. That's what happened with me. I got off and I wound up using excuses, man. And with this excuse, and having fear for this and what they going to think. And, man, get back on the train, bro. Get back on the train, man. Don't be get back on the train, man. And I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to myself, man. I'm really talking to myself. And I know the studies. I know what they say. I know that in the morning is when your willpower is at its best. So if I know my willpower is at its best in the morning and it weakens as the day go on, I'm got to jump on heavy in the morning. The AM, as soon as the sun come up, before the sun come up, I'm up on my goals. I'm up on what I got to do. Because I'm building esteem. If I start off in the morning week, what my night going to look like? If I know my willpower is at the strongest in the morning, then I'm jumping on it right then and then. So that I got my willpower, I got the momentum. I got the momentum rolling. So that's important to me, man. I gotta stay consistent. And we gotta be a community. You gotta hold me accountable. I know I gotta hold myself accountable. That's why I wake up in the morning, I tell myself, yo, I love you, man. I love you, man. And with that, I started with myself, and then I say, I got to hit at least 5 to 10 people and let them know that 5 to 10 people that I really feel that same way about, that I love them. You know what I'm saying? And I got to stay consistent with that. And it start off with the morning. Start off with me. Right up. I love you, man. Look right in the mirror. Look right in my eyes. Right in the mirror and tell myself, I love you. Then I got to tell my wife. Then I got to tell my son. I got to hit grandma. I got to hit my man that I really appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate them. I see somebody that I love what they doing. I might not love them, but I see them on social media and I say, dang, I like what he doing. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? So that's because since I know I'm all over the place, and you know what? With these podcasts, I don't edit. Ain't no editing, man. I'm coming right out, giving it to you the raw. Editing, I ain't got time for none of that. I'm editing. I know editing. Just record and publish, man. Cause I gotta come from the heart. I can't. Cause remember, I'm hoping you get something out of this, man. I'm hoping you get something out of the daily bag. But most importantly, I gotta get something out of this, man. This is to save my life, man. From where I just came from, man. I just came from that. You know what I came from? You know where I was at? You know where I came from? That pain? I ain't trying to go back there, man. I ain't trying to go back to that pain, man. I ain't trying to go back to no homelessness and none of that, man. Trying to go back to living in no cold rental truck and all that, man. I'm not trying to be going back to no homeless shelter, man. Nah, man. So I'm going to stay consistent on success. Consistent. I know I got to keep my eye on my why. Why I want to be successful. I got to remind myself that, man. I got to remind myself why. I got to keep my eye on my why. I heard this lady say, I think her name is Maria Folio. Like, I know I'm scrambling her name and I ain't going back to edit. Her name is Maria Folio, right? Forleo. I heard her make a quote. She said, success comes from not what you do occasionally, but what you do consistently, right? You heard me? You heard me what she said? That stuck with me? She said, success doesn't come from what you did, what you do occasionally. Success comes from what you do consistently. And hey, I'm taking that for what it's worth. I believe what she say. I like that, man. I love what that say. I'm installing that in me. So if I know I want to be successful, I gotta be consistent. And even if it just starts with this, man. If it just starts with this podcast, the daily bag, going into my bag every day. I don't care if I get one download. If I stay consistent, I know it made me 1% better, and I know it's going to lead me into something else. It might not lead me into having the best podcast in the world, not even maybe in the top 1 million, right? However, it might make me 1% better that led me into be something better in my health. It might make me more consistent in working out. It might make me more consistent on cold calling and dealing with whatever and building my social media, right? So I got to be consistent. And that's what today is about, being consistent. And I was consistent, right? I was consistent in what I wanted to do. And I wanted to record. I'm recording right now. I'm in my bag. I'm in my bag. You know what everybody's saying hip hop? Oh, I'm chasing the bag. I'm chasing the bag. Nah, I ain't chasing the bag. I'm just trying to get back in my bag. That's all I'm trying to do. And I hope you too. I hope you feel what I'm saying. I hope it inspires you to get back in your bag. Because you might have been in high school. You might have been at your top health. And you ain't there no more. Get back in your bag. You might financially been up to doing so much good. And you're not there no more. Get back in your bag. Get back in your bag with me and hit me. Let me know, man. Even if you got to email me, Thomie Isreal. You see how my name is spelled? ThommieIsreal@gmail.com. Hit me. Talk to me. I ain't costing you no money. Hit me and talk to me. Tell me how you want to get back in your bag. Maybe I can help you, man. But more important, maybe you can help me. Maybe you say, hey, I know something that can help you with your consistency. Or I know this, or read this book, or look at this on YouTube. Hey, listen, man, I would love to hear what you got to say to help me. Because I know what it's about. I know it's about teamwork. I know the empires are built with soldiers, right? I don't care what kind of king he is. If he ain't got the right soldiers, he got nothing. So I know that. So that's my daily bag today is consistency, man. And if you can help me with consistency, man, give me everything, man. I'm trying to be successful this year. I'm not trying to go back to where I was. I'm trying to just be 1% better, and I know I gotta stay consistent, man. All right, so thank you, man. Thank you for listening, man. We're gonna be back in our bag tomorrow, man. This is the Daily Bag Podcast, and my name is Thomie Isreal. Until next time, man. I appreciate you, man, and let's get back in our bag, man. Let's get back in our bag.